We are the girls who gab. Oh, we didn't cheers.
How rude of us.
I'm Kassie.
I'm Bayley.
And today's episode is going to be all about, like, dreams and goals and, like, big hopes and wishes and things. And also, we didn't plan anything for this episode, so we're just gonna have a great time.
Literally, this is going to be us blabbing on it.
But isn't that what this podcast is all about?
It's what we are. It's who we
Very
are,
true.
what we're all about. In this episode, I am drinking a hot tea. Before we started recording, Cassie was like, just say you're drinking a hot toddy. And I just couldn't roll with that. So I went to go say it right now, and I'm like, a hot tea. I'm drinking a hot tea. It is what it is. It is. I just feel like having like a little coziness.
Mm-hmm. I know.
I'm wearing a
very
big sweater.
cozy.
I'm wearing Andre's sweater, and it's very nice. And
I'm drinking the same thing I was drinking in our episode that you're going to see after this, actually, but the episode we filmed before this,
yes,
which is an Angry Orchard pear flavor thing. Very sweet and crisp, which I'm a fan of. And I also just took a shot of Bacardi because
anxiety is the thing in life right now.
Yeah, dude, I don't like it. Anyway, what's your pour one out / cheers?
Wow, I really didn't think this through before we started recording. I don't know. I don't think. Can I say I don't? Pass.
For both?
No, I mean, cheers to that is okay, fine. I guess my pour one out is the same as like what's going on in our life right now. Just you know, quarantine is a thing, coronavirus is a thing, I don't have a job, that's a thing, my husband doesn't have a job, that's a thing, and just that all sucks. Putting that all together.
Yeah.
That was a quick little brief, that's that. And I think my cheers to that would be just the total opposite of that. The fact that like I'm home with Amelia, my husband is home with us, and it is amazing.
Mm-hmm. It's like a nice little break.
Yeah, it's like just a staycation.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
Yep.
My pour one out is definitely how bad my anxiety has been in general this week. I was just, before we turned it on, I like was getting anxiety, and it's about 3:30, and I've realized that about 3:30 every day this week I've gotten really anxious. And I've been using like meditation to kind of relax it when I'm at work, because I'm still luckily going to work and like have a job. But yeah, I've been needing that, and so I took a shot because I'm here, because I wasn't at work. Because you know, when you're at work, probably shouldn't take a shot. I don't know, that's like not a good plan, especially when you work at a rehab. Whoops. So that's my pour one out. My cheers to that though is like trying to maintain the normalcy, like being able to come over here, film, and like just hang out with you and the family and stuff.
Andre cooked for us. It was great. We like took a break and we had some nice food, and then it was just nice.
Just it's good to like I have a mixed feeling about the fact that I am still going into work, because obviously like it's the exact opposite of what we're being told to. Well, I mean, I work in healthcare, so obviously the work can't stop. But like my boss is trying to get us approved to work from home, and I'm like kind of on a mixed feeling about wanting to work from home, because I do feel like it's good for me to have a routine. And the more that I'm stuck at home, the less I feel like I have that. I've worked from home before. It doesn't work very well for me.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. That's, like, not a very positive cheers to.
I know. How did it...
Sorry.
Went down.
I know, but, I mean, that's just what is life right now.
No, I know.
Like,
it's hard. It's really, really hard to think of. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Well.
That's it. But getting into a more positive, like, topic, we want to talk about, like, what we want in our lives.
What we, like, envision for ourselves, or, like, if you're not doing something, like, now that you really want in your life, talk about, like, how we can get there, and, like, just about, like what we want. Our goals.
When you were a little kid, what were your things?
Wanted to be a teacher. I wanted to be a teacher so bad. That was, like, my dream, my goal. I got asked every single day what I wanted to be, and so every single day, a teacher. Then I hit 5th grade. And then every grade after 5th grade, I want to be a 5th grade teacher. 5th grade teacher. Fifth. That was like always my answer. I don't know what about it that made me really want to be a specifically 5th grade teacher. I have no idea.
5th grade is not fun.
No,
as an old substitute
idea.
teacher, no.
I have no idea. And so that was like my goal, even like all the way up to high school. High school, I still wanted to be a teacher so bad. And then I don't know what changed. When I went to college, my first year of college, I still had that, like, to be a goal in my life. And then I started working, and then I got really heavily into the restaurant industry. Then I, like, moved with my family, and so I just got into, like, I just got other goals and, like, got into my job more than schools. Because then I dropped out of school, and, like, I didn't go back. I just focused on my career path at that point.
Yeah.
The game life. Yeah, I went on my career path. So,
as a kid, I think I did also want to be a teacher for a really long time. And I still do sometimes think about wanting to teach.
Well, you were a substitute teacher.
I was. And if I ever went back and got my teaching credential, I would definitely teach American Sign Language in high school. That would be what I would want to do. And I've, since being, like, after high school and, like, thinking about the teaching aspect, I know that I would want to teach high school, which a lot of people think is weird, like,
no,
because it's older kids.
Weird. I think I'd love to
but
teach
I just
high
really
school.
love that age. That's why I like my job now. I work with teenagers there too. I think that they, you know, they're in their personality already, but they also still need guidance and stuff. And I just really like that age a lot.
I think you would do really well with that age group.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll ever go back to school for it, so that's a question. But that was kind of what I wanted to do. But then the 2008 recession changed really dramatically, cut that decision out, which is crazy because looking at where, like, there's a lot of teachers retiring and stuff, so there are, like, teachers needed, but it just was the wrong time for me. Like, and it was, like, really scary being in high school. Were you in high school too by then? When the, like, all the teachers started getting laid off?
No, I didn't get high school until 2009.
So it happened, like, right around there. Like, it would have been right when you were about to move into high school. And, yeah, it was pretty scary watching all your teachers get fired. And, like, they, in the high school setting, at least where I was, the teachers were really open and honest about, like,
what's happening,
the fact that this sucks, like, that they were emotional about it. And so it was really hard to like watch. So changed my mind. Definitely didn't want to be a teacher anymore. Yeah. But I think I would be a good teacher. Yeah. So looking now, do you have, like, what's like the big umbrella part of, like, what you see?
I see myself staying at home, whether that be staying at home and not working, or whether that be staying home and working and have, like, a work from home job, which I do envision, because I do, you know, I am working with Arbonne, and I still have so many goals for that and dreams for that to, like, grow and for me to grow my business. So hoping that that's it. No matter what, though, I see myself at home with my kids and with my family and being that, like, housewife. Like, that's so me. So, yeah. But at the same point, like, I still love going out every so often, and so that's why I love having my restaurant job and my serving job, because I love going out and just, like
being able
doing
to
something. Yeah, even though it's technically the same thing and it's very, like, repetitive, every table's different. So I love going in and experiencing something new every day. And so it's fun for me.
Sometimes I miss serving. Like, is that I say that to Matt sometimes, and he's like, "You're fucking crazy."
Yeah, Matt does not.
He's just not happy.
Yeah.
He, like, I'd had some conversation with him, not recently, but although it's really relevant right now, but we were talking about, like, what would happen, like, what would you do if, like, our jobs were no longer available, like, what would happen? He's like, I will never go back to serving. And I was like, I would absolutely do it.
Yeah.
Like,
it's one of the easiest jobs in the planet.
Well, I don't know if I would use the word easy, but for, like, the amount of money you make.
Yes.
I think it's a really good job. I don't know.
Yeah.
And it's, like, nice. I don't know. Whatever. There's a lot about serving. We are going to do an episode on serving eventually.
We are. Bring some of our server friends on. I think that would be a lot of fun.
I agree. Yeah. So, thinking about that question of, like, the umbrella look of, like, what my life will look like, I honestly don't know if I have something so specific in mind.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm working to be an interpreter, and I would love to be an interpreter, but as far as like what it means to me, like what my life looks like I don't know if being an interpreter is like the title of my life.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
No, that makes sense. That makes
like,
sense.
Even though I would be an interpreter like for work, I don't think I would want to consider myself an interpreter like that's the end all be all of my life. I definitely see kids in my future.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely want that. I definitely continue to see Matt in my future. And family and everything is really important to me.
Yeah.
I don't think I see myself staying at home more. Well, so it depends. Like, if we're really getting like dreamy, are we gonna go like in the like the
yes,
the crazy dreams?
Yeah,
because like I would love for any of the online activity that I do, whether it's the YouTube stuff or this podcast or whatever we're looking at. Like, I would love to be an influencer.
Yeah. Oh.
Like goals
yes.
and dreams.
Agreed.
And I know that that's such a like stereotypical millennial answer.
Now, yeah.
It totally is. But I would love to be able to do that full time as my career.
Mm-hmm, I agree.
I don't think that's a realistic goal. I don't think that I would love for it to happen, but I don't think that it's something I should like set my mind on as if that's the end all be all. I also have other things that I like to do, like interpreting. So like, I don't know. That's like a really like mixed.
No, I know what you mean.
Confusing answer.
No, I mean we're also at that age where like still so many things are up in the air for us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes, some others have it figured out and have found their passion, but like you can have multiple passions. Like,
yeah,
you know
that's
what I mean?
the thing for me. Okay, the other big dream that I have. Do you have any of these like things you want to get to, things you want to check off in your life? One thing that I really would like to check off in my life is I want to write a book.
Okay, which you posted about the other day, and I had no idea, y'all. I had no idea that you wanted to do
I've
this.
done, okay, do you know what NaNoWriMo is?
No.
Okay, NaNoWriMo stands for the National Novel Writing Month.
Okay.
NaNoWriMo, National Novel Writing Month. It's in November, and then they do a mini version in June or July.
Okay.
In the November one, you're supposed to write 50,000 words in a month.
Okay.
And I've attempted it twice and failed both times. I have not succeeded yet. But it's mostly because the 2 times that I've tried it, I've been working and schooling full or part-time of one or the other. Like,
so life got distracted.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's not that I don't have a story, and it's not that I don't have multiple. But it's more of like me managing my time and like choosing it over other things. So I haven't done that yet. And with everything going on in the world right now, there's a possibility for me to at least be able to work from home, which would change like how much time I am away because of commuting and all that stuff. Plus, we can't go anywhere, so there's not a lot of socializing happening.
Yes.
I really messed up that word for a minute there.
That's fine.
Yeah, so like, I would really like to write a book one day.
Yes.
I love reading, and I think you would
do a good job about it.
I need to like be able to hone in and like focus on a story. That's really, I get it's too much.
Yeah.
And then I can't
focus.
Yeah. On what I want to write. I have this story in mind. It's been on my mind like for years now. So I think that's the one that I'm gonna try to do if I do find the time.
Right.
When I find the time.
When is good.
Do you have? That's the opposite of what they say.
I know. They say if is good. Okay, whatever.
I just watched that recently. We're talking about Hercules.
Yeah,
if you didn't catch that reference. Because we're Disney nerds. You have a reason. Yeah. You have a 3-year-old almost.
Even before my 3-year-old. What? I'm obsessed. I have all the Black Diamond classics. I will sell them one day. No, actually, I probably won't. I'll pass them on, and then hopefully generations down, they will sell them and make millions.
Good money.
Okay, like thousands, but yeah. I mean, you never know. But
what are some of those like I would like to check these off my list things? Well, another one for me is having kids, but that's just gonna be a regular theme throughout
having
this whole
kids
video.
is checked off. Oh, I don't. You know what? That's a hard one for me to answer because like I'm kind of like living a good dream right now. Like I
Mhm.
do partially stay home because I serve, and I'm
Mhm.
like such part time and so flexible, like with my hours
Yeah.
at work that like I'm home constantly.
Mhm.
I like yeah, I have
Yeah.
fun with my daughter at home doing God
Yeah, you
knows
like
what,
get
and
to
so
spend
like
so much time with her
yeah,
and stuff. You
yeah,
like almost
and
are a stay-at-home mom,
mm-hmm.
even though you're not, but you
Right.
almost are.
So going back to what you said about an influencer, I really, 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 really do also want to be specifically an Instagram
Yeah.
influencer because like I'm like trying to get more involved into blogging and like posting not only like pictures of me but like pictures of like just
Mhm.
like day-to-day life things, like
Yeah.
small things. And so like I really want to be an influencer, a blogger, like a mommy blogger, and like
Mhm.
everything.
Mhm.
I want all of that. So yeah.
Yeah. In case anyone watching is interested in all the different like social media stuff that probably will come up a lot in this episode,
Yes.
everything is linked down in the description box or wherever you're watching or listening. Everything is down there, so you can check everything out.
To what we are talking
Yeah,
about. Yeah.
exactly. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So that's a goal.
it's definitely a big one. The
Mm-hmm.
influencer, and it's like weird. I like feel kind of, I don't know. I feel like iffy talking about it because I feel like we sound like,
Beggy or
or
that's
even
not a
like
word, but
we just sound like ridiculous.
yeah.
Like it's such an interesting time that we've grown up in because we've been around for the beginning of YouTube, the beginning of Instagram. Like
Yeah.
we grew up in this time where we watched all of those come up.
Mm-hmm.
And so we also got to watch those people that started the different like they started it. Like
Yeah.
they began the vlogging or the blogging or the Instagram influencer
Yeah.
or whatever it is. Like we've seen all of that beginning. And so it's very easy to look up and go, "Oh my gosh, I wish I could be that."
That's
Um
crazy. That's crazy that you're right. Now that when you put it that way, like
yeah.
I'm looking up to be
Yeah.
this specific, that this person.
Yeah.
And what do? They're an
They
influencer
just
on Instagram. They
right.
post about what they wear, what they
Exactly. And
skincare, and
so much of that part of it is like simply based on the fact that they got there 1st.
mm-hmm.
Like looking at okay, so there's Zoella on YouTube. She's a fashion beauty, but now more vlogging.
Yeah.
Influencer on YouTube, and part of the reason that she is where she is today is simply because she was one of the first.
Right.
And that's like that's it. Like it's just was simply luck.
Well, it's same with the vlog squad.
Yeah.
All of them that were
Exactly.
Like, yeah, I can't.
Yeah. So like some
They
of
just
it
beat us
is
to
just that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to think about what kind of influence that had on their lives.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so like we can talk all the big talk we want. It's one of those things where like yes, we can I definitely like continue to try and like you continue to try all that stuff, but it's also one of those things where it like happened in this chamber of all these different elements that doesn't
Forming.
exist right this minute. Maybe it'll exist on some other platform that we don't know about yet.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree, but that's definitely one of my like hopes and dreams, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
I say dream. When I say the word dream, I feel like those are the dreams that I feel like are not unrealistic because like I believe that I can do it, but like that's what the word dream means to me versus like my goal. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like my
exactly.
goals are to be a stay-at-home mom and my dreams are to be also an influencer on Instagram.
Yeah, exactly. I know. I totally get that. And maybe we should like good to define the two because like for me the difference between the dream of wanting to be the YouTuber or professional podcaster or whatever is not the same thing as my goals of being a professional interpreter, of being a mom, and I don't really those are the two big ones that come to mind. With interpreting, like another big dream that I would love to do is interpret a Broadway show.
That would be cool.
I would love love, love, love to interpret
Mm-hmm.
some big performance like that. I don't even know if I want to go into performance interpreting, because in interpreting there's like a lot of different pathways. There's like medical interpreting and court interpreting and performance interpreting, which
Right.
is that path. And I don't necessarily know that I even want to go into performance interpreting particularly.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like, dang, I really want
But
to do
that's
that.
a dream.
Or not perform, but interpret for a performer like Demi Lovato, or like one of those musicians or comedians or whatever that I really look up to.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, one of those.
I like that.
I love it. I like just the idea.
Yes.
And it's weird because in the interpreting world, a lot of those interpreters who do interpret for those big names tend to get really sensationalized, and then like there's a lot behind that. Again, interpreting can be a whole nother episode. Not that we'll do one because you don't really know much about it, but
accurate.
like I could go on and on about the nuances of stuff going on in the community and stuff, but like I would love to interpret a performance.
That would be a lot of fun.
Do you have, because I know you like and you are good at singing, and you used to be a cheerleader. Don't even try to laugh at that. She's laughing like it's not true.
Because it's true. Not okay. The true fact in that saying is that I like to sing.
You do like it, and you are good at it. Yes, you are.
No, yeah.
We're not gonna argue, but like, was any of that ever, or is it still like a dream to like? I don't know.
Perform, I guess you could say. Yeah. Not a dream anymore, but it definitely was something that, like, okay, so when I was younger, I remember like every trip I remember so vividly. Me and my family, we would go up to this lake, this little man-made lake that my family is like, it's just
really
where we go.
To it,
we go regularly, yeah. Winter, summer, whenever. It's a lake, but in the middle of the desert, like a little bit, yeah. Anyway, so we just went there all the time, and I remember every 4th of July, it was like a 4th of July karaoke weekend, and it was the funnest thing. We'd have this little tiny boom box and put a CD in, and we would always sing these songs. And I remember like everyone would rave when my mom or I would sing, and it was just like, yeah, and I enjoyed it so much. I was like this little girl who loved it, and like my family definitely built me up a little bit to where I was like, I could do this. I could become a singer.
But you are good.
I am good. Okay, so like we'll talk about that really quick, because yes, I know that I believe that I am good too, but I get super nervous. So like, okay, good example. We were on my bachelorette cruise, and we were in this little piano bar, and then I got pulled up.
That was the night I missed. I had a migraine the weekend of Bayley's
and she gets bad migraines.
My migraines not knock me out as in sleep, but knock me out as in I cannot do it. I tried so hard. I like was putting makeup on, crying, like trying, because I'm like, I'm the makeup on her. And then I like calmed down, took a break, and then I tried to come back to dinner, and then I had to leave. I like got a water, and then I had to leave. Like that was it. I could not handle it.
Yeah, it was rough. It was rough.
It was so sad. I'm
so
still
we went into
this day.
I know. I can see the tears. Then I'm sorry I'm bringing this up, but there was this piano bar, and I got pulled up to sing, and it was Perfect by Ed Sheeran that they were singing to me, and like, though you can tell that the whole crowd kind of expected me to sing.
In the video, right?
Yeah, in the video. Lauren recorded it, and you could tell that the crowd like wanted me to sing. My group of girls wanted me to sing. I think the pianist wanted me to sing and chime in too, and I did, but on a very quiet level. Like because I could tell anytime, like when I first started singing, I like sang that first line, and I got my. Oh, I can feel it right now because I'm thinking of the moment. Like, you know when you, like, are holding back cries? Like, a very hard cry, and you just get this throat itchy feeling? That's what was happening to me. And that's what happens to me when I sing in front of, like, big crowds. So I don't enjoy the feeling. But I do love to sing, and I am good at it. But I don't enjoy it.
Okay, this is hilarious, because I'm exactly the opposite. I'm a decent singer. Definitely, like, solid second soprano. I have I have skill.
Technical.
Yeah, like I have a skill. I can
Yeah,
hold
yeah,
a note. I was strong in choir. I was
Uh-huh.
like the second soprano that everyone else had to listen to because I do know how to hear the notes right and like
Right.
memorize them. And second soprano is a really hard
Spot.
in the choir. So like I know that I have enough skill to be the lead in a choir section. Section, that's what it's called. Oh, definitely that rum is hitting my head. So like I know that I'm okay. I know that I'm decent, good. Those are words that I would define myself as. And I'm not afraid to perform at all. Now,
so funny.
I didn't used to have that same confidence as a little kid. That was not the case. But I went to a school for performing art. I went to a performing arts public high school.
Okay,
I performed in shows all the time. Like I'm not afraid.
So I was a cheerleader.
Yeah, you were a cheerleader.
I performed all the time. Whether
but you
it
never
be
had
a
solos.
solo. That's true. I never had a solo,
Yeah.
and I think that's what.
Yeah.
That's
So
what
like
gets me.
I've done solos before and like all of that stuff. Speaking of like dreams that I had, especially in high school, one of the dreams was definitely wanting to be like perform in a not even necessarily like professional, but just like outside of my high school. Like I wanted to be able to perform, and I'm frankly not good enough to do that. Like if we're being really honest with ourselves, like I just am not good enough for that, and like that's a hard thing to come to, especially like having gone to performing arts school. I mean, I didn't really ever get main parts. I was more into dance, which I'm also not a very good dancer. Like, I mean, I say that as in like compared to people who are good enough to be professional, I am not very good.
You're not to their level.
Exactly.
I guess.
And I also didn't have the work ethic and stuff in regards to dance to get that good. Like, I just wasn't willing to practice that often. Yeah. Like, I mean, I practiced every day, but not at the level that people who I went to high school with are now performing professionally. I didn't. I just frankly wasn't willing. Like, no, absolutely not.
No patience
like,
for that.
No, it's like, I mean, and anything with like the physical stuff, whether that's vocal or physical dance, yoga I've gotten better at, like actually practicing and stuff. But dance and the vocal aspect, all of that takes practice. Like you have to be able to work those muscles, whether you're talking about in the throat or for dancing, the legs, all of the stuff. Like that takes a lot of work, and I wasn't willing to spend my time doing it. Yeah. I was way more into socializing.
Yeah. No,
I wanted to have a life. I don't know. It's hard.
But here you are having a life, so that's funny.
You're right.
Yep.
You are right.
But that's like, okay, so what else?
Did you want, like, as a cheerleader? Okay, so you were in cheerleading. I like the idea of cheerleading because I also just watched that cheer season.
Oh, if you have not, it's been out now for a while, and the second season is in talks. But if you have not watched, I know, girl, you're telling me.
It's so good. Cheer.
Yes. Okay. I'm like want to keep talking about it, but I should say the name. It's Cheer on Netflix, and it is amazing, and like it is touching people's soul who like didn't ever even cheer in their life.
It's also freaking a lot of people out because if you didn't know, cheerleading is tough.
Also, it's a sport. I can go on for days.
Oh, it absolutely is.
That's all I gotta say.
We're not gonna argue about that because I absolutely agree. I hate when people try to argue with me. I mean, honestly, I also think like dance is a sport. Like you can't tell me that people who dance, who work out that often, even though it's not competitive. So cheerleading is competitive. That's, I guess, maybe what makes it a sport versus other things. Yes. But dance, like, do not tell me that these dancers don't have intense skill and physical athleticism.
They do. They definitely do.
Same with cheerleading. Which is where we were.
And you should watch that. And it's really good. And season 2 is in talks. And that's that. And yeah.
And it's so good. Okay, so
it is really good.
When you were a cheerleader.
Yes.
Was there, like, position? Well, what position did you do? Were you a flyer?
I was a flyer.
So was there, like, specific stunts that you wanted to be able to pull that were, like, hopes that you couldn't do? Or anything like that?
Yeah, I really wanted to, like, be really good at baskets because I wasn't really that good at those. They're kind of terrifying. And baskets, for those of you who don't know, instead of, like, just being a flyer and, like, you know, your basers or your one-man stunt is holding your foot, like,
And you don't
constantly.
other than just the throw to
Baskets
come
are
in.
getting thrown up in the air. You're not in anyone's touch for like X amount of time. And like I really wanted to be good at those for the purpose of getting into college cheer, which wasn't a thing for me. And but I tried out and I didn't make it. On my junior to senior year, that camp in the summer in between, we seniors got offered to like work for the camp and be like a camp instructor who like travels the world. And so that was like really exciting for me. And that's like what had motivated me to try out for then college, because I was like, I loved cheer. It was like such a passion, you know. And then fell off that train for a little bit. And that's something we can go into a little bit later, like in a different episode, because I get emotional every time we talk about it. But moving back to California with my family, I did really, and I still to this day tell Andre all the time, I'm like, I want to be a coach. Like,
yeah,
I
you've told
so
me that
badly
before.
want to be a coach, and whether it be for like just for camps and little girls and like you know first
or like
beginners or like
or something.
Oh, I like it. Would just. It's just like something that's a dream. That is something that I would put in the dream category than a goal, because I'm not going and pursuing every single day looking and all this stuff. But when I first moved here, I did get 2 interviews and I went, but I kind of like forced the interviews. I was very like persistent, but they weren't really looking for anybody. So I didn't get it. But that's a dream.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think that would be really fun. I would have a lot of fun with that.
Are there any like dreams or goals that you started because of like a TV show or something like that?
Because of a TV show?
Like TV show, some sort of like entertainment, whatever it happens to be.
No, what about you? Because I feel like there's an answer for you.
Definitely is. I brought this up because, hello, we're obsessed with Grey's Anatomy, and for a hot minute, I wanted to be a surgeon. and then freaking, what's his face? What's his name? Bailey's husband. Warren, but what's his whatever.
The beginning
when he's an anesthesiologist.
Oh, not okay. Yes, okay.
So when he's an anesthesiologist, I was like, "Dang, you make buckets of money." That's what Bailey said. Let me be that.
That's what Bailey said. That is because they do make a lot of money.
Yeah, they do. Well, they're really important. Are you kidding me?
I mean,
do you know what kind of lawsuit you get into if somebody wakes up on your table? I mean,
listen. I'm glad that is in your dreams and not your goals, because don't get sued. Just kidding.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Oh, that's a really good one. That is good.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that are like.
I was like, I know enough about doctors. I could go to doctor school. What even is it called? Med school.
Everyone. Doctor school. Everyone else who watches all these medical shows, The Resident, Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah, for
For
sure.
a hot second, I did want to be a police officer.
Really?
Really, really bad. And this is something that was a goal and not a dream. So also when I moved back to California, I was like, when I moved back to California with my family after like my first year of college, I was very like all over the place. Still working at the restaurant. I was just a server. I didn't know if I wanted to stay there. I wanted to be a doctor. I actually went to medical school with my mom. And
what was it?
A medical assistant. I was almost done. And so I went. I wanted to be that, but I didn't end up following through. I just didn't like it.
Yeah.
I didn't enjoy it. It wasn't what I expected it to be. So I just
because you started your like it's an internship. But not an internship.
Correct.
It's called something else. Whatever.
No, it's called an internship.
Is it an internship? Okay, so you started that, and then
it just didn't end up working out. I literally did not like it, which is so weird because
you went to school for it. I remember you studying for it.
Yeah, and I loved it so much. So anyway, so that was that, and then after that, I was like, let's look into the police academy. That would be so much fun.
That means I was friends with you in that.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know
that. And I looked into that, and it wasn't happening because I have chronic asthma, and so like that was like something that like ixnayed me from doing it. And so that dream got crushed really quick. But I looked into it.
Coming from somebody who's the daughter of a cop, I don't recommend.
Yeah.
I mean, my dad, like, he's awesome and has been a cop for a long, long time. He's also a former Marine. Like, he's got lots of experience in that category, and like, it's a lot of work. I mean, it's a dangerous job. I like personally wouldn't want any more of my people to be in that career just because it's scary, not because it's not a meaningful job. Like, obviously it is, but
and did I tell you Clay's gonna join the police academy?
Well, last minute, last time I talked to him, he wanted to join the Air Force or some shit, so.
No, but, like, he wants to join the police academy now.
That's probably good for him. we
I
could
was
get
talking to
into
him
this.
about it. He would be so. He's like I see him like even like way back then. I saw him as a person in a uniform, whether
Yeah.
that be the Marines, the Navy, Air Force, firefighter,
Yeah.
police officer. Like
I don't
he's
remember.
that. I feel
I
like he
remember
fits
that
it.
I came for like a holiday. I think it was the holiday that you were gone. You like had visited because you were
My family was
out of
there. Lauren was there, right?
Mhm.
That one,
Yeah, so it was when you came and visited back from Northern California,
right.
and your brother had recently announced that he wanted to join some sort of military.
Yeah, my
something.
family wasn't a fan of
And
it.
none of them were a fan of it, which I didn't know. So he like tells me about it, and I was like, oh, like cool, and I'm like positively like affirming him.
You're all looking around, not cool.
And no, you yelled at me, like quietly yelled at me. You were like, stop it, my mom's not a fan. And I was like, okay.
Yes.
I guess I shouldn't be congratulating you.
Just kidding.
Just
so he
kidding,
didn't
don't
follow
do it.
through with that.
Yeah,
All was
that
fine.
didn't happen.
So, anyways, that's a goal that not in
Yeah,
me, but in
please.
my life. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
Dang, what made you want to be a police? What was the thought behind it?
I really liked the structure and the idea of it, and just the idea of like helping and being around other people.
Mhm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to be a social worker, and I've also
Sorry.
multiple times have thought about wanting to adopt kids, like specifically from the foster system, not from like
So be a foster.
yeah, like not. I mean, probably would be a foster mom to begin with, but not in the goal of only ever being a foster mom.
Okay.
Like wanting to
Yeah.
eventually adopt.
Mm-hmm.
But I've done a lot of research. Well, so I wanted to be a social worker for a minute, like working with DCFS and stuff, and like it's so dark. Like
Yeah.
there's a lot that goes down in there.
You know that one of my family members is doing that right now, right?
No,
They're fostering.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so they are fostering this little boy, cute as can be, so perfect for our family. And well, so they've been in the talks for a while now about like adopting or trying to have another
How old is
kid
the
or
child?
whatever. How old is he? I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Maybe 6. That may be too old even. I don't know.
But older than Amelia?
Older than Amelia and younger than the boy that they already have, which is their own.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been in the talks for a while. They finally decided on fostering. So they, are fostering this little boy, and they fell in love. The kid, like, loves their home, loves them. Already calls her mom and working on the dad, but, like, it's definitely a progress and a great stage. And, like, I think a month ago or maybe a little bit longer, they got told that, like, oh, it might not work out anymore. Like, he might go back or blah, blah, blah. And it's just, like, it's so heartbreaking to even hear. I can't even imagine being put in that position. I mean, it's just, like, a relationship, falling in love, and then that person be like, okay, bye. You know what I mean? Like, that's just so rough. It's a rough spot to be in.
There's definitely, like, so, like, there's that aspect of, like, I don't know. I wanted to adopt for, like, this was before, because for a long time, not for a long time, but for a few years at least, I, like, was really afraid of pregnancy and, like, the idea of giving birth and the idea of being pregnant and, like, just all those changes that happen. I mean, we've had a whole motherhood episode. We all talked about it. So I was really afraid of all of those things. Now my mind has changed, and assuming that everything can happen,
right?
I would really love to be pregnant myself one day. But for a long time I was, but who knows if that's possible? I don't have an answer for you because I haven't tried. But, like, before that, when I was afraid of it all, I was like, yeah, I'll adopt because I want kids. I just don't want to be pregnant.
Right.
And so I did a lot of research on, like, what the foster care system looks like, because I also was looking into, like, the potential of being a social worker, working in DCFS, working with those kids.
Right.
And doing this, like, huge research paper, I was like, no.
Never mind.
I don't want to work in it. And I don't even know if I could handle emotionally the other aspect, because there's a lot of, like, complications and stuff that are not easy black or white answers. But I mean, being a social worker aspect, it's hard because there's a lot of, like, red tape and stuff. So, like, really having the kid as the number one is really, honestly, really hard to do in the system in general. And then on the other side of things, even though overall I think it is good to want to reconnect kid with biological parent and stuff, like imagining being the person who like falls in love with that child and wants them to be your own and then having to let go, like I don't know if I could do it. So yeah, that was a dream for a really long time, to want to either work in the system or take part in it, and I don't know if I could do it anymore. But then that's a whole question, like me and Matt haven't talked about, like what happens if we can't have kids, like physically, like something's wrong on either of our bodies. We haven't looked into any of that, right? And I don't know.
You're like, just gonna roll with it at this point, I think.
Yeah, and like realistically, my family's like fertile myrtle everywhere, so
right.
I find it unlikely that we'll have an issue, but you never know. Yeah, exactly. You never know. Yeah. So that's a different conversation that we haven't had yet together. Yeah. I don't know what I would even want to do. I don't even know if I know what personally I would want, let alone his opinion on it.
Right. Yeah, so you don't know your own answer yet.
Do you ever want to adopt? Like, I know you like being pregnant and all that
I don't think we've ever discussed it. It's not something we've talked about because, I don't know, we already have one and it's just like, meh.
Well, yeah, and like,
I don't know.
We've talked about how, like, you like being pregnant. So, assuming that everything still works and all that stuff, I would assume you would want to
But aside from that, if, like, things wouldn't, I think it's an option, but he and I have never discussed it. So, it's kind of like, it's also up in the air. I don't even know you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's definitely, like, really personal and
also something hard to discuss if it's not something you've even been forced to discuss before.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Me and Matt have, like, shortly discussed it because I'm totally a person that says what if. And so I like to bring up the, like, well, what if we can't?
Yeah.
And so we have had, like, a very basic conversation of what if. But it doesn't come to really any answers because the real thing is, like, well, we don't even know if we need to have this conversation. Yeah. So let's not go into detail.
That's me. That, like, we're not there yet. So, like, if it comes about, I will then discuss it.
Right. Yeah. Like, I tend to bring it up and then also shut it down. I'm like,
I think because you get yourself so worked up and you're like,
it's talking about anxiety. We were talking about it just at the start of this. Like, I get anxious about the what if, so I want to bring it up, and then I get anxious about the what if, so I want to shut it down.
You are ridiculous. Yeah.
Cheers to that. Am I right?
LOL. I think it's really it on my dreams and goals,
though. I think mine are too. I mean, my big goal is interpreting professionally, which is like a huge scary thing because interpreting is mostly independent contracting. I think if I'm looking at like a realistic goal with interpreting, I would love to do educational interpreting in the K through 12 system. It's looking at that teacher side of me back again.
Yeah, but you even said that in the beginning. If you were to interpret, it would be a class, a high school class.
Yeah, well, if I was to teach, I would want to teach ASL.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
In high school, but if I was to interpret, I think as of right now, my goal is to do a K through 12 setting, ideally high school, because I like that age range. But I also like the idea of court and medical, but court more. I like the idea of court more, but that is more time because you have to get a specific license for that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So that would be like way in the future. And on top of that, those are mostly independent contractors, which is most interpreters. Educational interpreters in K through 12 settings tend to be hired by the district, so that's a different
in and itself.
Yeah, but other than that, most interpreters are independent contractors. And that's a scary thing too. I've done independent contracting in the past. It's hard. You don't have any benefits. You don't have any sick time. You don't have any paid time off. You don't have anything. You don't have it. So that's a whole nother scary leap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's a good goal to have, and you're already on that course, so that's good.
Yeah. So hopefully I'll be finishing this year, assuming the pandemic doesn't destroy everything.
It's already on its way to destroying everything.
Shut up. My teacher just set up Zooms, so I feel. For those of you who aren't watching, Bayley picked up her tea and the coaster came with it.
But usually it drops within the first second, and it didn't. So I'm like pouring it up to my mouth, about to touch my mouth, and it's there, and it scared me.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, I think that's everything. Do we have
a quote
for the day?
We don't have a quote for the day, actually.
Yeah, I know. We didn't really, like, think it through. I do have a funny one that I could pull up. I read it to you before we started. Do you remember it?
The bookcase one?
Yeah, the bookcase one. Let me find it. It is.
That was dramatic.
When life throws a wrench in your plans, catch it and build an IKEA bookshelf.
Or build an IKEA anything.
Yeah,
Because that will take you weeks.
Seriously. So this is
No,
from,
I like it.
Yeah, I love it. This is from Binge by Tyler Oakley, who is a YouTube influencer, so it actually fits.
Oh,
Holy
yeah.
crap.
I have his book.
Yeah, that's why I pulled it out, and then I decided to just
I didn't
Google
see
it.
you pull it out.
Oh.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, the IKEA bookshelves. They're hard to build, but I've
Which is
built
my
3
bookshelf.
by myself.
True. Your bookshelf is a whole wall. And
I've
she
built
has
them
3 of
all
them.
alone, also. Like, Matt did not help.
'Cause-
Don't give him any credit. I did them by myself. The 2 that I did in a row, I built them in one weekend. I made sure that Matt was out of town because I was like, "You're no help to me. Get out of here, and then I will."
Let me
build
just
them."
focus, be in my zone, and
And
get it
I don't
done.
care that IKEA's little thing says not to do it by yourself. It literally says to have a partner, and I don't care.
Does it say that? Ugh.
Yeah, well, I mean, it
I've only
doesn't say
bought-
anything. It's all in pictures.
I've
but
only
it
bought
does
about
say.
2 things that are IKEA in my house.
Really?
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't recommend that well.
No. One thing. My bookshelf. My bookcase. That's it.
Yeah. Well, that's a cute bookshelf.
Mm-hmm.
But IKEA,
Simple.
IKEA's stuff is easy to make, relatively. Relatively user friendly.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, I don't think the quality is all that awesome.
No.
But it's cheap, so affordability.
And we go back every time, and it's great to walk through.
Yeah, we
That
have
may
watched
be
through
debatable.
those together.
Yeah, when we were wedding hunting.
Yeah,
for
wedding
stuff.
hunting. We went for candles.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, that is our episode. So
Yes, that was that.
make sure to subscribe and like and rate us on
Follow,
Apple
rate.
Podcasts if you're listening on that, or if you want to listen on that. It would be great for us.
Yep.
All of our social medias are linked down below for the podcast, for me, for Bailey, for everyone, for everything.
Get to it.
And we'll see you next week. We
Peace.
upload every Monday.